So we've had our Advantium oven for about 15 years, and we still enjoy using it. It does everything it's supposed to, and does it really well. So it really cuts down on cook time and so on. So at any rate, been having some problems with it. So intermittently, it would have some strange issues. It would just stop working altogether. I could tap the control board, and it would start working again. But when the oven decided to continue running after I opened the door, that was when I just decided, that was it. I'm not going to use this thing anymore. So anyways, I let it set while we decided what to do. And then I started reading a little bit out online about a couple of things that would cause this. And it came down to some of the switches and the switching sensors in the door frame itself. So I decided to give it a shot and see what I could do to fix it. So to get this thing apart, it's super easy. There's only 2 screws in the top. You've got a screw here and a screw here. Once this panel is off, then you can have access to the single screw that holds the control panel in place. Okay, so once you've got that single screw loose and out of the machine, don't try to rotate that panel down immediately. What you have to do is lift up, and then you can rotate it out. Or pull it away from the chassis of the machine. So you've got on the bottom of this board, the control panel assembly, you've got these 2 tabs that fit into 2 holes down in the bottom of the chassis. In addition to that, you've got 4 tabs, 2 on each side of the control board, that fit into the slots in the chassis. So you really have to, push up and then pull out when you're pulling that off of the chassis of the machine. All right, so once you've got access, you've got some cables to disconnect. You don't have to worry about messing up the cables on this. None of them are interchangeable. Actually, there are a few that are, but they're color coded, so you really can't mess it up. So just go through that carefully, and if you're not 100% sure, just put tape on the connector and then on the cable that you're pulling off, and number them. So, but at the end of the day, you really don't need to do that. All right, so what did I do to fix this thing? These are the 3 switches that sense the door positioning. So you've got 2 main interlock switches and then a 3rd interlock switch here. Now you can buy a kit from GE or Sears that's kind of expensive, I thought, for fixing this problem. So this problem is really the problem of, when you open the door, the machine keeps running. And obviously that's not a good condition to be in. So one or multiple of these switches have failed. So basically I just replaced them all. Didn't really feel like taking it apart multiple times to guess which one it was. So when I pulled these switches out, you'll notice there are little tabs here, and they're different on each one of these switches. So on this one, there's a tab right at the top, and the switch kind of rotates out of the holder. On this middle one, the tab is also on the top, but it pushes in, and then you can rotate that switch up and out of the assembly. And then the bottom one is a little bit interesting in that it rotates down, and you'll see a little stud here that holds the switch in place. So just be aware that they all come out just a little bit differently. They're not hard to get out, but they, if you break one of those tabs, you'll have to replace that whole white assembly there. Now, when I put this thing back together after I replaced those switches, I did not take out this white piece. I was able to do it without taking that out. But you'll see that I had the door shut so that I could position the white piece in the proper position to make it, open and shut properly. You can position that in several different positions, and you'll see what I mean when you take it apart. It just kind of flops around in there. So that was the fix for the door issue. Now, when I got ready to put this back together, I noticed that there was a problem with the heatsink here. I happened to just touch it and it wiggled. So I thought, well, that doesn't seem right. So I started wiggling on it, and sure enough, both of them wiggled. And what you'll see is on the back side of the board, the solder joints have cracked and are no longer proper, right? So that's probably what was causing most of my problems with intermittent problems with the machine. So what I did was simply resolder those. Here you can see the cracks on both of those heatsink and voltage regulators. You can just barely see the crack there, but it's a little more obvious on some of these. So anytime you have cracking like that on a joint or on a solder joint, you're definitely going to have problems. So I resoldered both of those voltage regulators that were on heat sinks, and so far things have been very solid. So I really haven't had any weird problems with the machine at all. It just seems to work like it should. So I hope that helps. Those were the basic steps that I went through to fix those two problems. And good luck.